Good morning, students. Today we are going to cover very important topic, convolution. Damn surely you will get 5 marks in a semester end exam. So, in inverse Laplace transform, we covered linearity property and first shifting theorem, change scale property, second shifting theorem, use of partial fractions to find inverse Laplace transforms. These 5 concepts we covered in previous classes. Now today we are going to cover one more important topic, convolution, for 5 marks, which gives the answer to the question that is inverse Laplace transform of product of functions exist or not. Is there any formula to find inverse Laplace transform of product of functions? In integration and in differentiation we have a product rule, d by dx of u into v, integration of u into v. In Laplace transform there is no rule like that, but in inverse Laplace transform convolution gives answer to the question, is the inverse Laplace transform, any formula exists in inverse Laplace transform for product, that is L inverse of first function into the second function. So let us see what is convolution. First of all, convolution, I already told you, you will get for 5 marks. So this is a definition of convolution. Problem comes for 5 marks. Okay. Let f of t and g of t be two functions, and convolution of f of t and g of t is denoted by, how we denote the convolution, f of t star g of t, that is a notation of convolution. And how it is defined is integration 0 to t f of u into g of t minus u into du. Remember, this is the definition of convolution. How it is denoted, f of t star g of t, f of t star g of t. And you know the function f of t. Now you have to write here f of u. At place of t you have to write u, and we know the function g of t, then you have to write g of t minus u, that is at place of t you have to write t minus u. So this is a convolution defined, f of t star g of t is equal to integration 0 to t f of u into g of t minus u into du. Lower limit is 0 and upper limit is t. By using f of t you can write f of u, by using g of t you can write g of t minus u. At place of t here you have to write u here, at place of t here you have to write t minus u here. That is the answer of convolution, denoted by f of t star g of t is equal to integration of 0 to t f of u into g of t minus u into du. That is the convolution. What the convolution theorem says, let us take what is a convolution theorem says. Convolution theorem, if L of f of t is equal to f bar of s and L of g of t is equal to g bar of s, then L inverse of f bar of s into g bar of s is equal to f of t star g of t, that is convolution of f of t and g of t. As we defined in LDL side, it is integration 0 to t f of u into g of t minus u into du. So here is the answer for our question, is the product of, for a product of functions is inverse Laplace transform exists. Yes, there is the convolution theorem says for L inverse of f bar of s into g bar of s, product, here product came, is equal to, what is that, convolution of f of t and g of t. How convolution defined? We already defined it. How it is? How we defined? It is integration 0 to t f of u into g of t minus u into du. This is a convolution theorem, and what it says for product. For product of functions, we can apply L inverse, and that answer is the convolution f of t star G of t is our answer. This is a convolution theorem. So by convolution theorem, now you can able to find inverse Laplace transform of product of any two functions. That is L inverse into f bar of s into g bar of s is convolution of f of t and g of t. That is f of t star g of t integration 0 to t f of u into g of t minus u into du. Are you able to getting? So note it down. Let us go to the problems now. Once if you note it down, let us go to the problem. So this is what I said. What I said is convolution. How convolution is defined? It is defined as convolution of f of t and g of t is denoted as f of t star g of t. And how it is defined? Integration lower limit is 0 and upper limit is t. And you know f of t, now you have to write f of u. You know g of t, now you have to write g of t minus u. That's it. That is a thing. So f of convolution of f of t and g of t denoted by f of t star g of t and defined by integration 0 to t f of u into g of t minus u into du. That's it. That is a convolution defined. Now you took convolution theorem. Convolution theorem says, what convolution theorem says is L inverse of, that is inverse Laplace transform of product of functions is defined as convolution of f of t and g of t. That is defined as convolution in previous slide, integration 0 to t f of u into g of t minus u into du. Note it down and read once. Let us go to the problems. Before doing the problems, please read once. Let us start the problems now. Shall we go to the problems? So as I already in every class I am saying, we are going to do as many problems as we can with the solution, and only little bit of homework we are going to give, because in this pandemic, that is COVID-19 situations, many students having many type of problems. So let us solve as many problems as in this video lesson and only give very less homework. So let me shift this because it is troubling, it is disturbing here. Now, so the question is, what is the question now? You see, what is the question here? Using convolution theorem, find the inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s plus 1 into s plus 2. You clearly read the question. So what is the question? Question is, you have to use convolution theorem. The question itself, in the question itself is said you have to use the convolution theorem to find this inverse Laplace transform. If the question is not like that, just find inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s plus 1 into s plus 2, then easily we can do this problem by using partial fractions. Yesterday we did it. So no need to use convolution theorem. If simply the problem is find inverse Laplace transform, then we damn surely we go to the other method yesterday we covered, that is use of partial fractions. Very easily we can do that. But in the question, you carefully read the question, what is given. It is given that using convolution theorem only you have to find this inverse Laplace transform. So if you do by partial fractions, you will get 0. You won't get any marks. You have to do the problem only with using convolution theorem only. So once in the question it is mentioned that you have to use convolution, means you have to use the convolution itself. If you do by other methods, you won't get any marks. So every time you will get 5 marks from this topic and this concept. uh, and in every question paper you find the problem like this, and every time he mentions using convolution theorem. So be careful, guys. Using convolution means you have to use the convolution, no other method works here. So question is, you have to find L inverse of 1 by s plus 1 into s plus 2 by using convolution. So what is f bar of s? F bar of s into g bar of s. F bar of s is first function 1 by s plus 1 and g bar of s is 1 by s plus 2. You can take vice versa, nothing problem. So one trick I am telling here, in order to choose g of s, because you have to write in convolution f of t, you know, you have to write f of u. G of t, you know, you have to write g of t minus u. So what you have to do is you have to choose a very simple function as g bar of s. Very simple one. Because you have to write g of t minus u. So you have to write g of t minus u. That's why choose a simple one as a g bar of s and the other one as a bar of s. In the first problem, we are having both are simple functions. Therefore, f bar of s I am taking it as 1 by s plus 1 and g bar of s I am taking it as 1 by s plus 2. So this is what I am saying. Problems. First problem we are explaining. Here f bar of s is 1 by s plus 1 and g bar of s is 1 by s plus 2. You having two functions, 1 by s plus 1 and 1 by s plus 2. So take them, first one as 1 by s plus 1 and second one as 1 by s plus 2. Now f of t. What is f of t? L inverse of f bar of s. What is f bar of s? 1 by s plus 1. That is L inverse of 1 by s plus 1. Which formula we are using? I repeatedly told you in previous classes that you must by heart all 8 standard formulas. Then only you can able to do the problems. So which formula here? L inverse of 1 by s plus a. Yes, and L inverse of 1 by s plus a. Plus we are saying means answer is minus e power of minus 80 is the answer. L inverse of 1 by s plus a. The answer is e power of minus 80. Now L inverse of 1 by s plus 1. The answer is e power of minus t. And L inverse of 1 by s plus 2. Answer is e power of minus 2t. Now we got f of t and g of t. At place of t, or if you write u, then f of u. What is f of u? F of t is e power of minus t. F of u becomes e power of minus u. And g of t, you have to write g of t minus u in convolution. At place of t, you have to write t minus u. At place of t, you have to write t minus u. It becomes e power of minus 2 into, at place of t, what you have to write? T minus u means t minus u. E power of minus t, 2 into t minus u. That is your answer. So you got f of t and you got g of t. Now by using convolution theorem, what the convolution says? L inverse of f bar of s into g bar of s is the convolution of f of t and g of t. That we have a formula. Now use the formula. L inverse of 1 by s plus 1 into s plus 2 is equal to L inverse of f bar of s into g bar of s. That is convolution f of t star g of t. How it is defined? Integration 0 to t into f of u into g of t minus u. This is a product of functions is defined as convolution, and the definition is integration 0 to t f of u into g of t minus u. So you have to write f of u. How you can write f of u? You have f of t, at place of t write u, and you have to write g of t minus u. How you will write g of t minus u? We have g of t. At place of t, write t minus u. That gives answer. Let us go to the next slide. Oh, f of t we are having e power of minus t, and g of t we are having e power of minus 2t. Now convolution is defined as 0 to t f of u into g of t minus u. F of t equal to e power of minus t, f of u is equal to e power of minus u, g of t minus u is equal to e power of minus 2 into t minus u. T terms constants, e power of minus 2t constant, because the integration is in terms of u. That's why e power of minus 2t constant outside. Next u terms e power of minus u into e power of minus into minus plus 2u, therefore it is e power of uu. E power of minus 2t constant. E power of x integration, e power of x, e power of u integration is e power of u from 0 to t. Apply upper limit minus of lower limit. So e power of minus 2t into upper limit e power of t minus lower limit e power of 0. What is e power of 0? E power of 0 is 1. Now multiply with e power of minus 2t, e power of minus 2t into e power of t, e power of minus t, e power of minus 2t into 1, e power of minus 2t, that is answer is e power of minus t minus e power of minus 2t. Are you getting? Just note it down. I will put slide by slide. This is the first slide, first problem. Note down the first problem. So already told you, whenever the examiner asking us to find the problem by using convolution, means you have to use convolution itself. That's it. Note it down. Let us move to the next problem. Before moving next problem, note it down first. Yes, it's completed. Let us go to the next problem. Another half an hour to go. I already told you, we are going to solve many problems. It takes time. You should have a patience. Okay, 50 minutes class means you should listen with more patience. This is our second problem. We are going. This is first problem. Note it down. Note down this one also. Let us go to the next one. Yes, the second problem is very similar to first problem, but this is a repeated question for 5 marks. Many times, many number of times it is repeatedly coming into your semester end exam. That's why I choose this problem to explain. But it's a very more general problem. Once we covered this problem, means all problems of this type you can do, because a very generalized problem. Using convolution theorem, find the inverse Laplace transform of L inverse of 1 by s plus a into s plus b. So at place of a and b, if any other constants you can do. That's why I said this is very general problem, because you are having a and b. 1 by s plus a into s plus b, product of two functions. Once there is a product of two functions, there is an option of convolution theorem, and in the question is said use convolution theorem, means you have to use the convolution theorem. So take first function as f bar of s and take second function as g bar of s. That is f bar of s is 1 by s plus a and g bar of s is 1 by s plus b. The first one s plus a, 1 by s plus a, and second one 1 by s plus b. If both are the similar linear functions. That's why I'm taking. You can take vice versa also. But if both are different, then you have to take the easiest function, the simple function, as g bar of s, and the remaining one as a f bar of s. Why to take? To avoid the complications in integration. Once you are applying convolution, means it converts into integration. In integration, to avoid the complexity, you have to take the simple function as g bar of s. Note it down, students. Note it down what I am saying. Whenever the two functions, product of two functions are given, then choose the simple one as g bar of s and the other one as f bar of s. And why? You may ask why. The answer for why is, what is the answer is, in order to avoid the complexity of finding integration, which obtained by applying convolution theorem. That's it. So only single point, the single extra point to be put in the mind is that use take the simple function as the g bar of s. That's it. So a bar of s is 1 by s plus a and g bar of s is 1 by s plus b. So f of t is equal to, what you will get, L inverse of 1 by s plus a. What is the standard formula? L inverse of 1 by s plus a. The formula is e power of minus at. If it is plus, then the answer is minus, and if it is minus, the answer is plus. L inverse of 1 by s plus a is e power of minus at, and L inverse of s plus b is e power of minus pt. You got f of t and you got g of t. In convolution, you have to use f of u. So at place of t, you have to write u. In convolution, you have to use g of t minus u. So at place of u t, you have to write t minus u. That's it. Very easy. Using convolution you have to solve. Now by applying convolution theorem, this inverse Laplace transform of product of functions L inverse of f bar of s into g bar of s is the convolution of f of t star g of t, that is defined as convolution. In the very first slide we defined it. What is a convolution? Integration 0 to t f of u into g of t minus u. So to write f of u, we have f of t at place of t, write to u, that gives answers. To write g of t minus u, we have g of t at place of t, write t minus u, that gives the answer. So now let us go to the integration part of this problem. So what is the problem now? It is integration of 0 to 2 f of u into g of t minus u into du. Yes, that is integration. L inverse of 1 by s plus a and s plus b is integration 0 to t into f of u to g of t minus u. What is f of u? What is f of u here? We have f of t. We have f of t is equal to e power of minus at. What is f of u? E power of minus a into u. At place of t you have to write u. G of t you have e power of minus pt. G of t minus u is e power of minus b into t minus u. That's it. E power of minus b into t minus u. Now substitute f of u and g of t minus u in the integration part. That is integration 0 to t e power of minus au into e power of minus b into t minus u into du. That you got now. Now e power of minus b into t is a constant outside because integration is in terms of u. So that's why you have to take t terms outside of integration. Now you have a e terms e power of minus b minus a into u into du. What is integration of e power of x? integration of e power of x is e power of x by a. So in third semester we learned the integration formulas. Now you are using, so everything is interconnected. You have to know all differentiation, all integration, all Laplace. Then only you can go for inverse Laplace transform. Every formulas, all formulas are, you have to by heart. That's it. So integration of, what I am saying, integration of e power of ax is e power of ax by a. Now integration of e power of b minus a into u du is constant. At place of a you are having b minus a, so integration e power of b minus a into u by b minus a, upper limit 0 to t, upper limit minus of lower limit, apply upper limit minus of lower limit. Now e power of 0 is equal to 1. Now multiply e power of minus b and plus b cancel, you will get e power of minus at, 1 into e power of minus bt, e power of minus bt. So what is the answer? 1 by b minus a into e power of minus at minus e power of minus bt. This is our second problem of convolution. Take it down. First slide of second problem I am putting take down. So let us go to the next problem very fastly. Another 20 minutes to go. So make it fast so that we can cover as many as we can. So this is a second slide of second problem. Yes, this is our third problem. What the third problem says? Using convolution theorem, find L inverse of 1 by s into s square plus 1. You see, in every problem, what in the question it is coming, what it is coming is use of convolution theorem. So whenever the question in question he says that use convolution theorem, then you certainly have to use convolution. Otherwise go for partial fractions, it is more easier than this, and you already practiced many problems in first semester only. You are deal with partial fractions, it is very familiar to you. That's why if the question is in question there is no use of convolution, means you have to go for partial fractions. And in the question there is if we mention use the convolution, means you should use convolution to solve the problem. That is my first point. And the second point, when solving convolution problem, you have to take the simplest one as g bar of s and the other one as f bar of s. Convolution means you are dealing with product of two functions. There are product of two functions, and among the two functions, you have to choose a simple one as g bar of s and the other one as f bar of s. These are the 2 points I am repeatedly telling you. Don't forget when you are dealing with convolution. So yeah, what is the first function? What is the problem? 1 by s into s square plus 1. So the two functions 1 by s and 1 by s square plus 1. So students, there are product of two functions. First one 1 by s and the second one is 1 by s square plus 1. So among these two, which one is a simpler? Which one is a simple function, easy function? The simple one is 1 by s. So take g bar of s as 1 by s. Previous problems, both product of two functions in both of them are simple. Both of them are same. That's why if you take you can take any one as a bar of s and any other as a g bar of s and vice versa, no problem there. But in the third problem, what's the difference? Here two functions, first one is 1 by s and second one is 1 by s square plus 1. So among these two, one is a simple, 1 by s is a simple. Take g bar of s as 1 by s and take f bar of s as 1 by s square plus 1. That's it. That's why I repeatedly told these things. So g bar of s is 1 by s and f bar of s is 1 by s square plus 1. Okay, so now what is f of t? L inverse of 1 by s square plus 1. 1 can be written as 1 square. So, which standard formula we are using here? So, use of formulas, knowing of formulas is very, very important, guys. So, from first class onwards, when I given you 8 standard formulas, that moment onwards, I am telling you, you have to by add all the 8 formulas, all 8 standard formulas, then only you can able to solve the problems. So which formula you are using here? 1 by L inverse of 1 by s square plus s square. What is that? 1 by a sin a t. Here a is equal to 1, therefore 1 by 1 sin t, that is sin t. So f of t is equal to L inverse of 1 by s square plus 1 square is sin t, that is you got f of t. Now g of t, L inverse of 1 by s is equal to 1. We took simple one as g of bar of s, that's why our g of t is also very simple, it is 1. Okay. Now apply convolution theorem. By convolution theorem, L inverse of 1 by s into s square plus 1 is equal to f of t star g of t. Convolution. Now we define convolution. It is the integration of 0 to t f of u into g of t minus u into du. Now write f of u. What you are having? F of t is sin t. At place of t write u means f of, you see. You have to write f of u. Now you are having f of t. F of t is sin t. Then at place of t you have to write u. F of u becomes sin u. So what is f of u? Sin u. Now you have to write g of t minus u. What is g of t? 1. At place of t, if you are having k, g of k 1, g of s 1, g of 10 1, g of 100 1. For any g of something you have a constant 1, no variable. Here t means sin t. If t changes, the sign of t also changes. But here no t in the answer. So for every function you have g of t is equal to only 1. So what is g of t minus u? G of t minus u is also 1. So this is sin t into 1. Are you getting? F of u is sin u and g of t minus u is 1. So it is sin u into 1. Integration of 0 to t sin u into 1 into du. Are you getting? Yes. Now let us go for doing this integration part. L inverse of 1 by s into s square plus 1 is equal to 0 to t f of u into g of t minus u into du. As I said, f of u is, what is f of u? It is sin u and g of t minus u is 1. Sin u, integration of sin u is minus cos u minus outside, apply upper limit minus lower limit, minus of cos t minus 1, multiplying with minus becomes plus and plus becomes minus. The answer is 1 minus cos t. That is our third problem. So what we did here is we choose the simple one as g bar of s and other one as a bar of s. That is, you have to keep it in mind. That is the third problem of today on convolution. Note it down. Let us go to the next problem. So the first slide of third problem I am putting. Please note it down very fast. Simple function as g bar of s. That is the important point here. In product, if two functions are different and which one is the simple, that simple function you have to choose as g bar of s. Yes, another 15 minutes to go. Make it fast. I will put the next slide. This is the next integration part of third problem. Yeah, question comes as if you take different, if f bar of s is 1 by s and g bar of s is 1 by s square plus 1, vice versa. Vice versa if you take, then also you can apply convolution, and then also you can do the problem. But where the problem comes in integration part. Integral function becomes some more complex than this simple. You got only sine u, then you may get sine of t minus u, like that. So to avoid the integration complexity, only we take a simple function as g bar of s. That's it, nothing more than that. So if you are very perfect in integration, you have a command on integration, you can choose any one as a bar of s and any other one as a g bar of s. No problem at all. Note it down so that we can go to the next problem fastly, because time is running fast. Only 12 minutes to more, 12 minutes to go. We have to cover more problems. Yes, this is our fourth problem. What the fourth problem says: using convolution theorem, find L inverse of s by s square plus 1 whole square. So in denominator you are having s square plus 1 whole square, means it is s square plus 1 into s square plus 1. Here s by s square plus 1 is a one function, and 1 by s square plus 1 is other function. If you can take any way, first one as s by s square plus 1 and second one as 1 by s square plus 1, and also vice versa, because first inverse Laplace transform, one of them you will get sine and other one is cos. If it is sine into cos or cos into sine, no problem at all. So no other function, no simple function here, both are looking similar. So you can choose the anyone as a bar of s and any other one as a g bar of s. No question. Only third problem we see it, the simple one you have to take as g bar of s. That's it. Here f bar of s is s by s square plus 1 and g bar of s is 1 by s square plus 1. F of t is L inverse of s by s square plus 1. 1 can be written as 1 square. So what is the formula here? Standard formulas. You have to buy them, because in every step you will use formula. L inverse of s by s square plus s square is cos a t. Here equal to 1, therefore it is cos t. And what is the formula here? L inverse of 1 by s square plus 1, that is 1 by s square plus s square is 1 by a sin a t. A is equal to 1, therefore answer is sin t. So you got f of t and you got g of t, cos t and sin t. Now apply convolution theorem. By convolution theorem, L inverse of s by s square plus 1 whole square, that is L inverse of f bar of s into g bar of s, is the convolution product of two functions. P is equal to convolution f of t star g of t. And what is a convolution theorem says? This convolution is having convolution is turns to integration. So what is that? F of t star g of t is integration 0 to t f of u into g of t minus u into du. That's it. So now what you need? You need f of u. F of t you are having cos t. F of u becomes cos u. G of t minus u. G of t we are having sin t. What is g of t minus u? That is sin t minus u into du. That's it. Now write this so that you can go for integration. L inverse of s by s square plus 1 whole square by convolution. What you got? Integration 0 to t cos u into sin t minus u into du. It is cos a sin b, but formula is 2 cos a sin b. 2 cos a sin b, sin a plus b minus sin a minus b. So in order to convert into the formula, now multiply and divide with 2. So you are multiplied by 2 and you are divided by 2. 2 cos a sin b is sin a plus b minus sin a minus b. Sin a plus b, sin a minus b. Plus u minus u cancel, you got sin t, and u plus u tu. So answer is sin t minus sin 2u minus t. Sin t is a constant because integration is of in terms of u. So sin t outside, integration of du is u, and sin 2u, sin x integration minus cos x by a. Similarly, minus into minus, it becomes plus cos 2u minus 2 by 2. Upper limit minus of lower limit. Upper limit is t, substitute t sin t. If you substitute here tt minus t means t, that is cos t by 2. Minus of lower limit u plus at plus of u, if you put 0 then it is 0. At plus of u put 0. Cos of minus t, cos of minus theta is equal to cos theta, that becomes cos t by 2. Plus and minus cancel, answer is 1 by 2 into t sin t, that is answer. Now I am putting the first slide, note it down so that we can move to the next problem very fast. This is the first slide and this is the second slide. Let us cover one more problem. The very somewhat lengthy problems comparing to the previous topics, but damn surely you will get 5 marks. Partial fractions you will get 5 marks, and convolution theorem also you will get 5 marks. Using convolution theorem, find L inverse of 1 by s square plus 9 into s plus 3. Here what is a simple function? In both of them 1 by s plus 3 is a simple. So take g bar of s as take g bar of s as simple function and f bar of s is odd. So L inverse of 1 by s square plus 3 square is 1 by 3 sin 3t, and L inverse of 1 by s plus 3 is e power of minus 3t. By convolution, L inverse of f bar of s into g bar of s is integration 0 to t f of u into g of t minus u. At place of t you have to write u, it becomes 1 by 3 sin 3u. At place of t you have to write t minus u, it becomes e power of minus 3 into t minus u. Now let us go to the integration part of this problem. 1 by 3 into 0 to t e power of minus 3t 3 into t minus u into sin 3u du. Here t terms are constants, 1 by 3 constant, 1 by 3 constant, and e power of minus 3t constant. Therefore e power of 3u into sin 3u du. What is the formula? E power of x into sin bx, e power of ax by a square plus b square into a sin bx minus b cos bx. Applying the formula you will get this, and upper limit minus of lower limit you will get this. E power of 0 means 1. Substitute, you get answer. What is the answer? 1 by 18 into sin 3t minus cos 3t plus e power of minus 3t. So what is the formula we are using here? What is the formula we are using here? Integration of e power of ax into sin bx. What is that? E power of ax by a square plus b square into a sin bx minus b cos bx. That is our formula. Here a is equal to 3 and b is equal to 3. Substitute a square, b square, a, b. That's it. So this is our fifth problem, 1 by s square plus 9 into s plus 3. So what we are using, we are taking the simple function as g bar of s. In third problem we did the same, and fifth problem we are also doing the same. What is that we are doing? We are taking the simple function as a g bar of s to avoid the complexity in integration which obtained by applying convolution. So these are the 5 problems. We did all these 5 questions. 5 problems are previous questions for 5 marks. Many times they are repeated. So now let me give 1 or 2 homework problems. So practice all these 5 problems again and again and gain the knowledge. Get the concept of convolution. Then do this homework. So what is homework? homework problem. Yes, these two are homework. Let me check here. Using convolution theorem, find L inverse of 1 by s plus 1 into s plus 2. Here both the functions 1 by s plus 1 and 1 by s plus 2 are looking same. So you can take f bar of s and g bar of s. You can choose any one as f bar of s and other as g bar of s, and vice versa. There is no problem in choosing f bar and g bar. But in second problem, what you are having, 1 L inverse of 1 by s into s square plus 4. So first function is 1 by s and the other one is 1 by s square plus 4. The simple one is 1 by s. You have to choose g bar of s is equal to 1 by s. The simple one to avoid the integration complexity. That's it. So be careful while attempting the second one, 1 by s, you have to take it as g bar of s. That's it. Note it down this homework. Let us finish the class. It is time to finish. It's time to finish. These are the two. First problem very simple one, and second problem choosing g bar of s is some. If you choose vice versa also, then also you will get it. But where the problem comes in integration, if you are well in integration, take care of integration. Why uh, if you choose the simple one as f bar of s and other one as g bar of s, then take care in integration. That's it, nothing else. Only integration troubles you. If you are able to manage it, then you can choose any function as f bar and the other one as g bar. No, nothing problem there. Yes guys, these are the two problems for homework. You can submit me in Google Classroom so that I can respond you. I can verify your problem, I can correct them, and I can respond immediately. So, but if you are having any queries, you can mail me at naresh.debadi@gmail.com, or you can post it in Google Classroom also, or WhatsApp group also. So many means of media we are having in COVID-19 situation, all are available to us. So mail me or put it in Google Classroom or WhatsApp group, anything. So this is what we learned here in this class, convolution theorem, very important for 5 marks. Thank you guys. See you tomorrow. We will come with another topic, that is solving differential equations. Very